Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to the package team quad planning meeting for March the 16th. I've looked at it twice already and I still kind of question my date recall capabilities. All right, Tim, you have an item you wanted to address, and then maybe we could go through the 1311 plan.
Oh yeah, I think we yesterday mentioned on Slack that for 1311 that we still need to apply the deliverable and ready for development labels. And so I just wanted to check to see where the line was of things that we'll accept into the milestone so we can pass that forward to the rest of the organization.
Yeah, thanks for that. And thanks for the reminder, Tim. I appreciate it. I went through and labeled everything that looked good to go with deliverable, but there were a couple of things I had questions on. I think I need to just grab those things out to make sure we had that sorted out. I had a whole separate window for it. Hold on. Maybe I finished and so I stopped having a whole separate window. All right. Here we go. Do you want me to share my screen, Tim? Is that easier?
Yeah, it's easier. Thanks.
Cool. All righty. Everyone can see the milestone planning issue. Cool. Thank you. Okay, so I'm looking at mostly at the deliverable issues, percentage-based rollout. This one, I think, oh yeah. Yeah, so I'm just wondering, this one, it already been worked on a little while ago, I think, David. So I'm happy to put deliverable on it, but it looked like it was already in progress at some point. I'm not sure. Go ahead, Tim.
If David's not, is he on? He is. I don't want to speak. I'm not going to speak for him.
This one is a bit weird. It's ongoing effort of including projects for cleanup policies, and this is not going to be done in one step. It's kind of an iteration on it. So right now where we're at is that when we want to include a project for a cleanup policy, we need to mark them with a feature flag manually. And the idea is to switch that over to a percentage-based rollout, which means that we would just describe the percentage of projects that would be allowed to have a cleanup policy. So it's a weird one. It's not like it's an issue that we will make some things and it's done. It's really in the long run.
Okay, so I guess I'm wondering whether it's deliverable in this milestone and what component of it is. And if there's a component of it that it is, should we have a separate issue for that to be in the milestone?
One question I had, and I just saw because David's response in the planning issue was should we work on this, the percentage-based rollout, which I think the deliverable would be switching from a manual enable by request policy to a percentage-based policy. The other question that David shared an issue for properly scaling the worker, and that might be a good idea to prioritize first so we could, I think, more confidently roll out the percentage-based cleanup policies in the next milestone. But that does mean that we delay rolling out the cleanup policies to more projects for another milestone.
Seems like a good problem for a product manager.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that that Joam and David are here, because for me, I think I would prefer to prioritize the scaling work first. And then this milestone, we could focus on the internal repositories manually, and then maybe like coordinating with some of our larger, some of the customers that have large repositories and some of the VIP customers. This way we'll be safe to go for a percentage based in the next milestone.
Yeah, I agree with that. We have enough work to do with our own repositories and the few ones that we have identified as good candidates for the cleanup policies on the customer side.
Okay. David, does that sound okay to you? I know you provided a more nuanced answer in the issue.
Yeah, I guess the bad situation would be starting using percentage-based feature flag, and then in the middle of using that, we hit a scaling issue, and we need to implement the issue that deals with that in an emergency or something like this. It's better to deal with it now, but yeah, it will delay the percentage-based feature flag.
I'm okay with that. Like, and Joam said, we could work with our internal repositories as much as possible, this milestone. So I'll swap out those two issues. Is the scaling issue, that seems like that's ready for development?
Yeah, it is. The solution is already clearly described. I put a weight of 2, but a word of caution is that there is quite a lot of work to do, because essentially we will need to change the way the worker does things, so change the whole logic.
Is that this issue? Sorry, David.
Yeah, that's the one. And the
Right.
suggested solution is the description of the solution in technical aspects. But we will need to change quite a few things. So I would rather use a feature flag, another one, for that, so that we can switch between the two logics. And I kind of expect some bugs out of this new logic. So it will take a milestone, and it might take even 2 milestones to get it right.
What milestone do you want to put this in, Tim?
I think, especially hearing that, I think we should put it in right away in 1311.
Oh, no, this is the other one.
Oh, that's sorry. The percentage based, I think we could try for 14, and we'll see how this milestone goes for the scaling.
Okay.
And if it spills into the next milestone, we'll see if we have to move the percentage based rollout.
All right. Thanks. Okay. Just a friendly reminder, everyone, we're live streaming the planning meeting, which is cool, but like we still need to put these sorts of conversations in the issues where it makes sense so that everyone can participate. So this isn't meant to be a replacement for conversation about concerns on what stuff we're going to do. This is meant to be hey, we're coordinating, we're making sure we're getting input from everyone, but we're mostly focused on just planning. All right.
Thanks, Dan, for that reminder. I will, after this meeting, update the milestone planning issue and these issues that we're talking about with comments and things and labels.
Thank you. All right. Test in pre-prod.
So this is, now that we have online garbage collection implemented, there's 2 big tasks that we have for this milestone, which is testing online garbage collection and testing the container registry API on the new pre-prod environment.
Yeah. No, and this one, I'm sorry, that took me a second to get over to the labels. I put the deliverable on this one. I didn't see there was any issues with it. So we can move on. And this is the API test, which is the same thing, I believe. Yeah. Cool. Ready for development. Yep. Okay. And these are already done? Question mark or
in progress. The check marks just mean they've been picked up.
Yeah, that changed when I wasn't around, so I was like, I keep getting confused. I apologize.
Yeah, so these were ones that were in progress from Gigi. We did change the scope a little over the last day after I did some more investigation on what other aspects are and aren't considered V2, but I think we've got a plan.
Okay. Thanks for putting that in there. Sweet. All right. And then this one. And you said this is already in progress, right, Steve?
Yeah, that one actually, it wasn't. I just, as I was doing the investigation yesterday, I realized how to fix that. So I started it.
Thanks, Steve. All right. With some of these things where you pick up and you're actually working on them, I'm good with people putting deliverable on it if they think it's going to happen in the milestone. Mostly that helps with tracking the say-do ratio. The idea is like, this has got a P1 on it, you're already working on it. And that means that it's really important to Tim. And if you think it's going to get done, you can put deliverable on it. But thank you for that. Next. I did put deliverable on this one already.
It's in progress too.
Oh, it is? Sweet. Thanks, David. Cool. Someone edited it at the same time. I seem to get that message a lot. I'm not very unique, I guess, is the problem there. All right. Conan, push it over down. Ready for development. Wait up. Yeah, so it is. All right. Thank you. This one did get deliverable. Yeah, all right. I can see there's a bit of engagement on this one as well. Cool. All right. That was fine. And then you get packages larger than 500. Ready for development. I did have a question on this one, I think. Yeah, okay. 2. What makes it 2, do you think, Steve?
I just think anytime we have an investigation, 2 is reasonable because it might take a couple days to work through any investigation.
Is everyone good with that?
You might have to set up multiple storage backends to test this too, right? Like it could be a complex investigation.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Tim. Are the other engineers comfortable with it too for investigations in general? Or do you think it's just, if you come across one, it depends? It depends on the type of investigation? Okay.
No, I think in this case, a 2 is a good one. I'm hopeful that the steps the conditions that we need to investigate will show us the root cause of this bug. And so a 2 is a reasonable measure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, container registry test for GitLab self-managed. Oh boy.
Yeah, I just added the comment recently, Dan. Usually quality is not adding weights, but I think we should, especially if we're gonna have package P1 labels on end-to-end issues.
Yeah, we can have.
So I added a 5 because there was several blocking situations for this, but yeah, I guess that we have to experiment with weights for these kinds of issues. So it doesn't really, 5 is a really big weight. So I'll just keep adjusting and see how it's going in this milestone.
Yeah, no worries. And we could definitely talk about how to weight things, and we'll defer to you on how you feel like that works best. The other thing we generally do when we have these P1s and stuff that gets prioritized is to have async issue updates. And those, we try to look for those once every week at least. That way, if we've got customers or other people in the team looking to follow along, they don't have to show up to some meeting sometime that's early in the morning or perhaps late at night for them. So there is a template. You've probably seen people doing them. I don't want to put more pressure on you because I know you have a lot going on, particularly this week. But that'd be really helpful for me, and I know Tim and the other team members, so we don't have to be asking you anything about it. We can just sort of see what's going on. But we can talk about that more. As I said, I don't want to put more of a burden on you with what you're working on right now. So experimenting with weight sounds like a great idea. Normally, I wouldn't put deliverable on something that wouldn't appear in the milestone because it's making a commitment to whoever's tracking this effort. So I'm not sure, Tim, what do you reckon? Or Sophia, everyone's opinion is welcome here, but if you're not sure it'll get done in the milestone, do you think it's still worth putting deliverable on it? Is there some element of it that's deliverable that we could separate into another issue? That way we're sort of saying, hey, it's calling our shots, right?
I like the idea of, if we are one team, so it's nice to like commit to our issues. If there's a way that we could turn, usually what we would do if this was a feature issue is we would turn a 5, we would try to break it down into a smaller option. So if there's something that we can commit to for the milestone, that would be great, and then we could mark that as deliverable. Like maybe we could add container registry tests for one aspect of self-managed.
Yeah, I agree, team. I think we can go from there and see how it's going. But just because, in general, I'm not really sure about how SCTs are working with other teams, but yeah, I guess we can just establish our process as we want.
Yeah. Let's for now with this issue, I'm not going to put deliverable on it. But what we should do is try and work out a way that we can call out something that's deliverable. And I think it's going to have to be maybe a small scale thing, and we can refine how we're weighting things, as Tim mentioned. Generally when we see a 5, it means it needs an investigation. Otherwise, we're not sure we'll get it done. I'm happy to leave this right now. I understand, as I said, there's a little extra work now to do in front of this effort, Sophia. So happy to sort of focus on whatever you think is necessary, and we can keep doing what we're doing right now and just try to refine it as we go along. I think there's a couple of other test issues in here as well. So the same reasoning would apply there. So I'm going to leave deliverable off. We'll keep it in the milestone, keep a P1 on it, and then we can try and work out if we can break it up a little bit, or what we can make deliverable for this milestone. And once we figure that out, we can then go add that and put deliverable on it. And that can happen as the milestone started as well. It doesn't have to be, it's preferable to do it in advance, but we can figure it out as we go along. Cool. Thank you. Okay, this one. Oh, well, this shouldn't be on screen because it's got confidential on it.
I think that one doesn't have to be. I don't know why I made that I'm like a confidential spree. I'm sorry. I'll change that one.
There's a question about that one. Do you want the table field to be removed, or just a message disappear?
Sorry, Nico, I apologize. Tim, if it doesn't need to be confidential, can you remove the flag so I can put it back on screen? And I don't have to pull another video down. Sorry, Nico, I just wanted to get that out of the way because then we can look at the issue. I apologize.
No problem.
I can do it too.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I just had to pull it up. Sorry, it's done.
Thank you very much.
So I see that this is a backend counterpart, and the question is, the frontend is already ready not to receive that message because there are instances where that message doesn't exist. So if we want to change this to remove so this is in the table, we can remove the table column that says commit message, or leave it as blank, seeing that it's a temporary solution until we address other things. That's the question.
I feel like we can remove it just from the back end for now, and because we do want to have it back in the future once we refine the GraphQL API. So maybe we can minimize the changes if that's okay.
And for me, it's perfect. So there's nothing to be done here in this case.
Okay.
So this is now a backend?
There is a backend one, right?
Yeah, I did. I opened an MR because David said how to solve it, and it seemed straightforward. So I tried it in review. I think I should add in review and active.
Okay, I'm just going to update to backend label so it is in the right spot.
Do you want me to put that on there, Steve, or are you already there?
Already there.
Cool, thank you. And the other thing, just a point of order here, if David, not to, I understand that things change and there's an open question, but if we're not sure about something, it shouldn't be ready for development. Right, the label.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like I said, I know things change, but I'm just trying to remind people about how to use the labeling. It should be like, oh yeah, I know what this is. We're good to go, ready for development. Cool. Next. I had put deliverable on that in spite of the fact there was an open question. So that's on me as well. So I apologize for that.
Put the question after you put the label though.
Oh, was it? Yeah, but still. All right. Well, I mean, in that case, if we add the labels and we go, oh, we're ready, and then we change something or something changes, we've got to kind of have to remove the labels. The labels are pretty important that we stay on top of because that's what we use a lot, right? Label city. Woohoo. All right. I think I had a question. All right. Yeah, all I needed was a wait on this one. So I'm happy here, I think. Question mark? Yeah, I think it was fine. Sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on time. We're running. Okay, investigate package code. A couple more to get through. This one had deliverable on it. Oh, it's another one. It's confidential. Darn it. Should this, wait, is it confidential?
Yeah, there's a reason it was because the epic it's part of is confidential, so all the sub issues have to be.
Wait up. I'm just going to pull it out and put it in a different window so I can look at it. This was the migration plan.
Yep.
Joel. I think.
Yeah, it's part of that.
Yeah, it has a weight of 2. Is there any, you're confident getting that out in 1311? It's ready to develop. It looks good to me.
There is no development with that. We just need to do some investigation on BigQuery to get a better idea of the distribution of the existing repositories, the amount of text per repository. So it's more investigation than development.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I did actually put deliverable on it. Dan from 14 hours ago already figured that out. So thanks for the extra context, Shamam. I appreciate it. Thanks 14 hours ago, Dan. All right. And then the last one, Ruby Gem spec generation. What do we got? I had a deliverable. This looked pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a big one. So I'll probably start like investigating it early. Well, not investigating, but like trying to understand how it needs to work. Because I think we are going to hit some bumps in this one as we work through it.
Yeah, my only concern is here if it's a lot of effort and there's a bit of complexity and the number of items we already have deliverable is whether we're confident this is actually going to get into the master and get complete. I'm suspicious that this is, as it's the lowest priority here. I'm a bit suspicious about the number of items we're committing to for this milestone. I don't know. I'm happy to leave it on there if David and Steve are okay with this being marked deliverable, but I also sort of feel like maybe this is one we would leave it off and try to get to.
I think if we want to try to get Ruby gems in 14, we have to start on this now.
Well, yeah, but if that's the case, then Tim, do you want to move this up your priority list?
Well, if I have to choose, I would say the priority list I'm happy with because there's a bunch of issues on there that we have to get to first. So if this was a stretch and we had time to get to it because we finished our earlier issues, I think that's okay with me. Yeah, I really want to get through some of those other bugs and features.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, that's our 1311. Everything's got deliverable that Tim had prioritized. We have a couple of stretch goals. We don't have time to go through them right now. I think the thing to remember here is that we do need to take this conversation and make sure it's in the issues, like I mentioned before. And the other thing I mentioned earlier is if you pick up an issue that's in 1311 and it doesn't have deliverable on it, I'm comfortable with people adding deliverable to it. We've talked through what priorities are. Tim labels everything with package P1, P2 to identify Tim's priorities. Those we should respect. And if you need to pick things up in the middle, just to have a break from the stuff you've been working on, that's fine too. But it'd be cool to add deliverable to those as well if you're sort of picking something up that's like a quick one-pointer. bug fix or something like that. Any questions or thoughts? Nope. Cool. With that said, thanks everyone at home for following along. I hope everyone has a lovely day. And yeah, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.